Alright guys, before we get started real quick, I'd like to thank my sponsor Dubby for sponsoring this video. And be sure to use code JLWGames on your next purchase for 10% off. Thanks Dubby for the sponsor. What is up everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do floor plans like this, where you can actually create one-on-one recreations in Planet Coaster. Now keep in mind, this tutorial is going to show you how to basically make the floor plan. I'm not going to be recreating the whole ride or anything like that in this tutorial. I'm just going to basically be showing you how to create the floor plan, and that helps you get a nice one-on-one recreation of a coaster. Now, for your first few times, I definitely recommend finding a coaster that is on flat land for your first recreation using a floor plan, because once you get into terrain and stuff, it can get a little bit difficult. So for this, all you're gonna need is Google Maps, satellite view. So just literally internet basically to go to Google Maps and satellite view, find what you need, and then also some sort of photo editing software like Photoshop, or you can do a free program as well that has necessary tools. I am going to be using Photoshop for this tutorial, so if you have Photoshop, it'll be easy to follow. If you are using something free online, that is also fine, but you might have to find some tutorials if you don't, or if you're not familiar with your own program that you use. We're going to basically just be using the ruler, and we're going to be creating slices in our Photoshop. That's going to be the tutorial today, so on how to make the floor plan. Again, I'm not recreating the entire ride, so just fair warning before you start watching, I'm just going to be showing you how to create a floor plan. The rest is going to be up to you, so however you like to build is fine, but this will give you, make it easier on you if you're making recreations on Planet Coaster. So let's get right on into it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to find our location, ride, or whatever you're doing in Google Earth and satellite view. So right here, we're in Cedar Point. I'm hovering over Raptor, which is what we're going to use for this specific tutorial and everything. So, and you're going to want to take either a screenshot or use your snipping tool that you can also use. I use the snipping tool, which is this right here. If you have Windows, just type it in your search bar or your bar down below, or your taskbar, and just start typing snipping tool. It'll pop right up. This way you can kind of crop out exactly what you want. The only important part is you want this little measuring thing. You see where it says 10M and it has a little line here? That is the most important part to make sure that this is going to actually work. So what we're going to have to do is you want to make sure this says 20. Right now it's at 10. If you do 20, you want to be the zoomed in at 20. So this is the furthest, or kind of the closest you want to do while we're at 20 M, which is, I'm assuming, meters. So we are at 20 M right now. If you zoom out again, you can see the line gets a little smaller. So if you do have like a larger layout you're trying to fit all in one, you can zoom out a bit if it's like a very big spread out layout. But if you can possibly, try to make sure that you're the closest at 20 M. So when you see 10 M, scroll out until you see the closest 20 M. And as you can see, you can press logos, Windows key, Shift S to start snip, or you can just click new right here. We're just going to click new. And it's very important that you keep the little 20M here. So I'm going to go ahead and make my screenshot here. I'm just going to include Raptor itself. Now we just need to save it. As you can see, here is our photo, and then just save it wherever you want to in your files. That way we have this photo here. So, and now we have our floor plan that we're going to be using this for. So that is all you need a Google Earth for, and it's that simple. You're literally just taking a screenshot or using the snipping tool to take a screenshot of your floor plan, so we have a photo to put in Planet Coaster. Now in this tutorial, I am going to be using Photoshop to create our little snippets and different stuff. We're going to go in here. I'm going to go ahead and start new. I'm going to go 1920 by 1080p. So now we have our 1920 by 1080, and then I'm just going to go ahead and import our snippet that we have. And this is it. It wasn't quite the same resolution, but it does get the job done. Now I could zoom in here a little bit if I wanted to. I don't really have, oh, you gotta hold down shift. So whatever program you're using, again, you don't have to use, Photoshop if you don't have it. That's totally fine, because obviously Photoshop costs money. But if you do have it, I recommend just using Photoshop. You can go online usually and find something for free. It's just very basic stuff. So go to your Photoshop editor and make sure we're going to go to our rectangle tool. And I'm going to zoom in here. And this is very important because we want to measure this. Hold down shift, which is probably on most, so you can keep the thing here. And then you go from end to end on there, and now we'll have a square that is 20 meters. So this obviously isn't the same shape as a 32 meter. So what we're gonna have to do here, if you are on free transform here, make sure you're on free transform and go up here, and you can see like these different percentages for your W and H is what we're gonna need. Make sure it's not locked, because we don't want it locked. For your width, you're going to want it to be 160%. And then for your height, change your height to 90%. And that will give you a 32 meter billboard. So now what we essentially have here, if I zoom back out, this is a 32 meter billboard and planet coaster. This that I'm using right here. So now what we need to do is figure out how many of these and where these are going to go. So basically it's very, very simple. We're going to go ahead and kind of find a starting point. Let's go ahead and start here by the station, and we're going to want to maybe start around right here, and we got to figure out how many we want. So if you have a rule, make sure you have a program that has a ruler and that you can drag down like points like this. So if you click the ruler and drag down, you can actually, from side to side here, you can actually make kind of like a grid, and it will snap to our billboards here. So now we can see exactly where we need these. So like I'll do this here. We need another one down here. We have the whole ride covered at this point, everything that we need. So we really don't need this anymore. That's all we needed that for. And now we're going to need to find our slice tool. So the slice tool right here. And now all there is left to do is to kind of create our slices. These slices are going to be the images that we're saving. So you'll just, and they snap right there. So now that we have our entire ride in here, all right, so now we have all our slices in there. It's just a matter of saving your slices as individual photos, which all we need to do is go to File and Export, and we'll export Save for Web Legacy. And then we'll bring up this menu, and then just do JPEG. I guess you can do PNG if you wanted to. And image size, I mean, really nothing really matters here. Only thing that matters is after we click here and click save. Let's go up one. This is, I just saved a, I just have a slices folder here. So we're just gonna create a new one called Raptor, or whatever you want to. I'm just gonna call it Raptor. As you can see, I was doing some SDC ones. And I'm gonna save it in here, and I'm just gonna call it Raptor. And it will save each one, it will give all these a different number as well, but you'll see images only, settings, default, and then do all user slices. Make sure it's on all user slices, and that way we don't get slices that we don't want. We just want the slices that we created. So we'll click save, And that should have saved our files. And then once we go into our files, find our slices here, go to Raptor, and then go to Images. We'll save in Images. All our slices that we have are here, and you can see that they're numbered. Some of the numbers are kind of weird. Now, you could go through and rename all these if you wanted to, but I find the easiest thing to do is just leave the numbers as is and keep Photoshop open where you can, so when you're in Planet Coaster, if you only have one monitor, just do windowed mode, where you can bring this up pretty easily. And you can, this is your guide, so you can see number 3 is up here, so it's kind of like going to be like a puzzle in Planet Coaster. So I do recommend going ahead and keeping this open, or minimize it if you only have one monitor, and then you'll want to kind of put it together. So if you don't know where a piece goes, you can kind of do that. So you'll want to go ahead and take all of these photos. I'm going to go ahead and copy them to the Frontier Developments, Planet Coaster, User Media, where you save all your media, custom media files. So this one's going to be Raptor, and you can see it will save all of those. So once you're done, I do recommend deleting all of them, because it's going to fill up. If you do multiple ones of these, it will obviously fill up your media folder pretty quick. So, all right, and now we're in Planet Coaster. I'm just going to boot up a sandbox real quick. So let's go ahead and go screen, and we're going to go find the 32 meter piece. And we're going to start from the first one, and all we have to do is refresh the custom. I always refresh it when I add something. And then we're going to find where it is. It should be in the R's, which should be Raptor. All right, we're going to start at the lowest number. Some of the numbers can be kind of finicky, but we're going to start at Raptor 3. Move it along here. And then Raptor 4. Okay, it's I have it upside down. This side. There we go. All right, and then this one directly under it will be Raptor 9. So on and so forth until we have all of our photos down here. Alright, so after you get all those panels down, again, so much easier if you keep Photoshop or whatever you're using open that has your slices with the numbers. If you have Photoshop, it shows what number is what. It's easier to put the puzzle together for the most part. And as you can see, we have our Raptor floor plan. Now I do recommend grouping all these together, so just get your multi-select tool here and merge the scenery together. That way you can move it as a whole, so if you do want to move it somewhere, you can. You can move it around wherever you want to go. And now we have a 1-to-1 scale of where Raptor would be. So I literally have the Raptor layout here as a floor plan. It can be really tough to fit your station in. So that can be a challenge. That's a legit challenge sometimes. You can see the station here, like it is for real a 1-to-1 scale, but sometimes the stations in Planet Coaster are a little big compared to the actual things. I don't know if anyone noticed, but like they can be tough to fit in here sometimes. So you might have to do a little bit of adjusting here until you figure it out. Anyways, I hope this tutorial was useful for you guys. Now I hope you guys do some great recreations using the floor plan. I know there's not many tutorials on this, so I wanted to get my own tutorial out to you guys as well. There are like 2 other ones out there, but this is kind of the method that I use for floor plans. I really just started getting into floor plans just now, yeah, so keep that in mind. So as you can see, it can be really good. So like again, you can highlight in Photoshop the layout if you want to. Most of the time I won't, unless it's like a really hard to see the layout and Google Earth. So anyways, I hope you guys found this tutorial very, very useful, and I hope you guys put it to good use. So yeah, so make sure you guys have a great day and a cooler tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and good Bye.